gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the graduates of Trocaire College, our end class 2014 December. Distinguished guests, family, and friends, professors, and graduates of the class of 2014. It is my privilege to welcome you here this evening to this very special occasion, the Trocaire College December 2014 Registered Nurse Pinning Ceremony. I'd like everyone to stand as I would like to begin this evening's ceremony with prayer. I invite Sister Mary Mullen, Coordinator of Advisement, to please come forward and lead us in an opening prayer. Sister Mary.
Loving God, we gather here tonight so very much aware of your presence among us. We come in gratitude for all those people, opportunities, and challenges that have been a part of the lives of these future nurses. You have been a constant companion on their journey, the one that saw these students walk through successes, disappointments, and failures, marriages, births, and for some, even deaths. Most would say an amazing part of their life's journey has been completed. Tonight ritualizes the transition from Trocaire student to Trocaire registered nurse. We ask you, God, who gave us Jesus as a model for so many forms of healing, to gift these students with the spirit of their alma mater, the spirit of Trocaire, that is, mercy. With eyes of mercy, may they see in each of those for whom they care a person possessing dignity and self-worth. As we move through this ceremony, may we be attentive to what it says to each of us, open enough to let it touch our hearts, and confident enough to respond in some way, a word, a gesture, or a smile, as we share the healing love that has been given to every one of us. We praise you, Lord, for your goodness. Amen.
Thank you, Sister Mary. Please be seated. As we begin this ceremony this evening, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Sam Lee, President of Trocaire College, and welcome him to the podium at this time. Dr. Lee.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, and the administration of Trocaire College, I want to welcome the December 2014 graduates and members of their families, friends to this pinning ceremony. As you approach the final step in becoming a nurse graduate, please know that we as a college community are proud of the work you have accomplished. As students in the associate degree program, you have spent the last several semesters securing knowledge and skills needed to promote, maintain, and restore health for those of us in need. You have also bonded over difficult assignments, tests, and the sheer number of critical healthcare routines you had to learn and execute at a high level. And last but not least, you also were engaged in service learning opportunities that distinguish you from other graduates in the field. Today's pinning ceremony is a small but yet powerful symbol of your accomplishments. The pin signifies to the nursing profession that you have completed an approved curriculum that allows you to enter this wonderful and caring profession. Please know that we are here to celebrate with you and to stand witness to your success. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Dean, for your welcoming remarks. At this time, I would also like to introduce and thank her for the dedication and love of Trocaire College, Dr. Carol Finuti, Dean of the Macaulay School of Nursing at Trocaire College. Dr. Finuti, thank you for all you do for us.
Congratulations to the graduates on your motion pledge group. You are and you deserve the accomplishments and the honors that you have received. So, thank you and a great journey into the great profession.
At this time, I am very pleased to have the honor to introduce to all of you the two class representatives of the class of 2014 who have been chosen to address you this evening. Our first speaker is Callie Bush, who represents our J program students and graduates. I would like to invite Callie to the podium.
Hello. I want to start by taking us back to first semester. Day one of clinical. I will never forget how nervous I was to simply go into a patient's room. I was terrified. I walked to the room countless times, trying to gauge courage to go in. I kept peeking to see if the patient was awake, if she was sleeping, what she was doing, before I even went in the room. It felt like an eternity before I was able to go in to simply introduce myself. With the help and support of my instructor and fellow classmates, I entered the room. When I finally did, I attempted to do a head-to-toe assessment, which I'm sure I sounded like a robot doing. It was probably sounding more like I had a script in my hand than an actual head-to-toe assessment, and I have no idea what I assessed. When it came to taking blood pressure, I was so scared that I was going to do it wrong or somehow hurt the patient, which is nearly impossible. Many of us have similar stories of our first day of clinical that we will never ever forget. We have come a long way since then, only 2 years ago, thankfully. We would feel this emotion time and time again during nursing school. There were many things we did for the first time. Our first bed baths, when we felt like if we turned the patient too hard, we were for sure to take an arm off. Our first injections, medication passes, patient teachings, and many, many more things. Being able to experience these firsts in school allowed us to gain our confidence as nurses. This confidence we will take into our careers, and we are grateful for these experiences, even though at the time we wanted to run away and hide. Now I want to take us back to last Friday, the day we found out that we passed. The last stitch of major anxiety that we felt. We were all afraid to hit that button and scroll down the page to see what grade we got. My computer actually froze and I had to restart it, which was just cool. Tachycardia and diaphoresis kicked in. Visions of failure ran through our heads. Rationales of what we would do if we failed crossed our minds. We had alternate career options set, including becoming one of Santa's elves or some other ridiculous thing. And we were all in constant contact. Finally, we scrolled down the page to reveal that we passed. The relief we felt when we saw the passing grade is indescribable. Happy dances, cheers of joys, we did it. We finally did it. All the care plans, the all-nighters, the select all that apply, picking the best answer, not missing a step in lab testing, 2 of our favorite steps, verbalizing hand washing and Dawn clean gloves. And all the sacrifices we made paid off. We conquered nursing school. Needless to say, nursing school is hard. It is very, very hard. If you search online, there are countless humorous posts making light of tough situations we experience as student nurses. This isn't true of every degree. It is physically, mentally, emotionally challenging. It's always really easy to recognize a nurse, or student nurse, on a test day. It was evident from the unmatching clothing, the hair that's not done, and the terrified, sleepless look in our eyes. We certainly cared more about passing our tests than our appearances. And today, as you look around, we've never looked this good in our uniforms. We don't even recognize each other. This dedication is also a part of the quality that makes us great nurses. Putting ourselves before others. In our career, we will for sure care more about a patient than how our hair and makeup look. School has pushed us all to become not just great nurses, but better people. This is a necessity considering the field we are entering. We are going to be responsible for the lives of others, and it is not going to be easy all the time. There is not always going to be one correct answer, and we may have to select all that apply. And it takes a strong person to do this, and we are prepared for it. Without the many challenges we faced at Trocaire, we wouldn't have been as strong and capable as we are today. We need the physical strength to hold the patients up who cannot do so for themselves. We need to be mentally strong to not only multitask, but to provide safe patient care. And we need to be emotionally strong to help patients deal with their illnesses and often be the person they can count on when they need someone to talk to. These necessities are what makes nurses so special. I have two quotes that I'd like to share that kind of sum up what nurses are. One is a definition of a nurse. It's a person who goes above and beyond the call of duty. The first to work and the last to leave. The heart and soul of care. A unique soul who will pass through your life for a minute and impact it for an eternity. The empowered individual who you meet only for a 12-hour period, but who will put you and yours above theirs. And then the second quote is, when you are a nurse, you know that every day you will touch a life or a life will be touched by yours. I see these qualities in our class. Our class is very special. I've known this for a while, but it did not hit me until one of our professors, Mrs. Bronstein, brought it up during our professional issues class. She said there is a bond and respect that is evident among us. I have never been in a situation at Trocaire where I felt alone. Any challenges that were presented to me, I knew I had the support from my class and my instructors. I never felt silly asking a question in clinical, even though I thought it was really silly. I never felt like I couldn't ask for help if I needed it. And this is due to the amazing bond that our class shares. I am proud to be a part of this class. We were there for each other during the good times and the tough times. We got through the tough times by making up original songs, late night texts, study groups, comparing answers after a test, which was chaotic, freaking out before lab testing, and countless inside jokes. We were also there for each other to share the pure joy when we succeeded. Nursing school would not be nearly the experience that it was without this class and faculty. You know the saying that it takes a village to raise a child? Well, it takes a village to raise a nursing student as well. And we couldn't have done it with everybody that's in this room right now. Thank you to the faculty for helping us learn to become better people for this rewarding career that we are about to enter. Thank you for your patience and dedication to our education. Thank you for making us feel like we could do it even when we felt like we couldn't. We appreciate your hard work. We also would like to thank and apologize to our family and friends. These past 2 years could not have been accomplished without you. And while it wasn't always easy for us, I'm sure it was not always easy for you as well. You all know the look of stress when you have a test the next day. And you probably dreaded those words, I have a test tomorrow, as much as we did. We've neglected our friendships because we had to study, and we appreciate our friends for not defriending us during this time of need. Our families have all picked up the extra slack and have dealt with seeing less of us. Even when we were home, sometimes our mind were elsewhere, so we thank you for still supporting us. The following nursing diagnosis sums up the reasons we have not totally run ourselves for the past 2 years. Stress related to interrupted family process, impaired memory, sleep deprivation, knowledge deficit, social isolation, and imbalanced nutrition, as evidenced by being a nursing student. Interventions: studying hard, family and friend support, and coffee. Lots and lots of coffee. And the outcome is graduating nursing school. I would also like to say thank you to my class. You all mean so much to me. Like I said before, we are a unique class, and the bond that we share is very special, and I'm very grateful for it. We have made lifetime friends here who we have shared unique experiences with. I am proud to not only call you guys my peers, but my nursing school family. And yes, school has been challenging, but all the challenges have a purpose, and they were worth it. Trocaire has prepared us for our future career by pushing us to our best potential. We will never forget our experiences and what we have learned here. And we promise you all that we will be the best nurses that we can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Callie. That was wonderful. Now it is my pleasure to introduce next Jessica Perschini, and to ask her to come forward and deliver her address. Jessica was chosen as the representative of the evening program and graduating. She will now say her name correctly.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica, and I'm honored to be able to speak on behalf of my fellow nursing students. I am beyond grateful to be able to express my gratitude to our family and friends and all of our professors here. So thank you to everyone for being here for us tonight, but more importantly, thank you for being with us the past 2 years. I'm sure that some of you have probably been looking forward to us graduating, and maybe just as much, maybe a little more than we have, because, you know, it's been a tough journey. But I just want to say that I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say we could not have made this journey without your support and unconditional love. And it's definitely unconditional love that you need from our family and friends to be in a relationship with a nursing student for 2 years. I say that because it was 104 weeks of picking up our slack and everyday duties, such as laundry, dishes, grocery shopping. That's 730 days of lending your bodies to us to practice our lab skills. We brave souls, you. That's 17,520 hours of reminding us that yes, studying and finishing our paperwork is important, but there are other tedious tasks we need to complete, such as eating and please shower occasionally. That's 1,051,200 seconds of wondering what move you're going to catch us in, because you know 1 second can be insufferable, then the next overwhelmed with joy. So yes, congratulations to us for making it here, but congratulations to you too. So let's go back to the beginning of this journey. Here we are about to start nursing school, so proud for figuring out what we want to do with our lives. Nervous to start back at school again, excited to learn all there is about being a caring, loving nurse. Did not take long though to figure out taking 6 hours in credit hours in nursing school is equivalent to about 16 in another major. But that was our first lesson in nursing school. You may not always receive credit for what you do, but you do it anyways because that's the nature of a nurse. So our second lesson came with our first test, which was how to be a critical thinker. It is generally known among nursing students everywhere that on a nursing test, there's generally more than one right answer. It's just which one is better. I would like to say this is why some of us may have started bawling in our 20s, but we're getting past that. But we learned quickly in the nursing world that every patient is different though, and this is necessary. And there's no such thing as just one right answer for every situation. So Trocaire has done an amazing job at making us into the critical thinkers we need to be. Last lesson I would like to speak about that we learned at Trocaire is how to be compassionate. Obviously, this is an attribute you would hope all nurses possess. We can give you many examples of how our compassion has grown because of our clinical experiences, how holding a patient's hand, helping them eat, talking to them, have all benefited and helped us grow compassion. However, it was our day spent at Trocaire when we gave and received the most compassion. Having fellow classmates meet with you so they can explain material you didn't understand, but they did. Letting someone practice blood pressures on your arm until your fingers turned blue, which led you both into a lesson about circulation. Going to review a test you failed with a professor, not being able to handle the stress and break down crying. And instead of the professor kicking you out, they give you compassion and they tell you, don't worry, you're going to make it through. You're going to pass, you're going to be a great nurse. Then somewhere down the road, you have a friend that starts panicking, saying they're going to quit nursing school, and you pass on that same knowledge to them. They're going to do great. You're going to pass. You're going to be a great nurse. Receiving advice from students in the semesters before us, passing advice on to the semesters following us, letting them know that this will be one of the hardest things that they've ever done, but it is completely worth it. So as much as we complained about how hard it was, I would not have changed anything about it. I used to pretend to my family and friends that I was so disappointed to go back to school at the end of winter or summer break, but in reality I was itching to get back. I couldn't wait to see my classmates and professors, catch up with my classmates in the commons, get back into the classroom and learn. Start up our study groups again, where you generally only spend the first and last 10 minutes studying. I loved every second. I'm proud of the person Trocaire has made me, and I'm finally 100% confident in what I'm doing with my life. We have made lifelong friends, learned from the most amazing teachers. Now it's almost time for us to part, and it's so bittersweet. To all the Trocaire staff, thank you so much for dealing with our questions, tears, outrage, inappropriate laughter, sarcastic comments, and all of our stories. Thank you for passing on your knowledge and skills, along with your benevolence and patience. Thank you for being amazing role models and making us want to be the best nurses that we can possibly be. To my fellow students, we can do this. We may not think that we can, but we're ready. I only hope that someday, if a loved one or I become ill, that I would have one of you be our nurse. I will miss every single one of you and feel extremely fortunate to have one by your sides. And I wish the best of luck to everyone, even though I know you don't need it. So just remember to be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite Marian Deb, clinical coordinator for the School of Nursing, to join me at the podium. Marian.
Good evening. The selection of the speaker for the Trocaire pinning ceremony is a well thought out and reflective process by the nursing faculty. The nursing faculty wants to select a nurse who is a good role model, innovative, and works well with Trocaire students. Well, tonight's speaker possesses those qualities. Tonight's speaker is a graduate of Mount Mercy Academy, so she's a Mercy gal, and a graduate of the University of Buffalo. Tonight's speaker also has one of the hardest jobs at Erie County Medical Center. Yes, tonight's speaker is the unit manager for 80 North, the rehabilitation unit at BCMC. Why do I say a hardest job? This unit is busy, and the client population consists of clients transferred from the trauma unit, ICU, after a motor vehicle accident and other intense injuries that presents patients with problems such as head injuries, cognitive difficulties, spinal cord injuries, limited mobility issues, etc. Being a rehabilitation nurse myself, this patient care that a nurse gives is quite challenging and extremely difficult, not only physically, but emotionally. Tonight's speaker works with our students in a DEU. The DEU is a dedicated educational unit that is set up at ECMC on the rehab floor that provides optimal teaching and learning experience through collaborative efforts with the ECMC staff nurses and our students. The expertise of the ECMC staff nurses fosters a learning environment that meets today's nursing students' learning needs. The DEU prepares our students to assume the work task in a realistic 12-hour shift, as well as preparing the student for the transition to the real work setting. Every semester, the student evaluations come back glowing with praise for the ECMC and what a great experience it was for the students. So I thank you and your staff for all you have done for our students. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming Peggy Siri, the unit manager for the rehabilitation unit.
you work in an airplane, on a cruise ship, right, in a school, or in a clinical setting in a hospital, or a client or patient home, or in a residential setting, or even in a nursing home. That to me is the greatest privilege, just to be able to share a little bit of ourselves. A lot of your students' comments resonated with me. This has definitely helped to shape and to mold and to mentor you into such an amazing person. I've had the privilege of working with some of you throughout the past 2 years, and to have that aspiring someone to look up to me and to say, wow, this person mentors me, it's just amazing. I have had that same opportunity in my career to have been mentored by some of the most amazing women. I look at my nursing degree as a badge of honor, and I wear it proudly every day. I don't look to see the challenges that face me as I walk in. I am always humbled through the experiences and the situations, the families, the patients, and their life situations and the obstacles that they've come into every single day. I've learned some incredible lessons that I want to share with each of you. The first is that this is forever a learning experience and a journey. You will learn each and every day. And every patient, every day, that's what's going to actually build your resume. There are times when, sure, there are things that will challenge you to the greatest extent. There are times that you will sit and feel like you want to cry with those patients or their families. And there's times that you're going to laugh and you're going to take them out to that discharge door, and you're also going to be smiling with them. Every one of those experiences will help you to build on to the next. What I've learned is this. Every situation, every patient, every day, take that time to sit down at the bedside with the patient and their family. Take the time to listen. And it's not just so much listening as it is understanding what their needs are. The patient, the family, their friends, whomever, because we include all of them in the plan of care. And there's a huge difference to that. It took me a little bit of time, a good couple of years, 20 plus years for that to resonate, but it's so true. The other thing that I want to share with you is the second lesson, and that is to take what it is they need and to use that and be that advocate for that patient, that family, and to utilize your resources within your infrastructure, within your network. There are things that may have come up prior, existing things that you may need to help them with. The other thing is to have fun in the process. Every patient, every shift, every day. And it's not just about the patient, it's about each of you, and have fun doing that. For all those key points in that learning process, you'd be amazed at how much you're able to build your resume. The other thing is, because it's so lifelong and it's learning, attend webinars, seminars, start initiatives, start anything that you can think of that might become a better practice or make for more efficiency, and be a part of that initiative. I think every one of us in this room, and Marianne, you can attest to this, is a pioneer in the field of nursing. And it, again, is lifelong learning. So I hope, and I've had the privilege, as I said, of working with each of you, that you will take that heartfelt, those 3 or 4 simple things, and remember and work with that throughout your career as you embark on your journey. Because every one of you, I wish you the best of luck. I congratulate every one of you, and I sat and listened to your comments about your studying and your friendships and those late nights. That does hold true. I can remember that all those years ago. And for us, in the nursing world, even in the management, we still have those same challenges and those same opportunities. A lot of us attend other classes. We take on various initiatives and projects throughout the hospital. And it's not just a hospital setting, it's the community around ECMC, what we call our ECMC village. I have the privilege of being the chairperson for the Nursing Recognition Committee, and we've raised probably this year about $20,000 for the hospital as a whole, which is an amazing feat. That doesn't even include the last project that we worked on, which was to do Christmas for School 84 and for School 61 on our ECMC campus and our extending campus, which is on Kensington, Leroy, and Brighter. These kids were probably about 500 in total that we were able to deliver books, hats, gloves, and mittens, and Christmas presents that might not otherwise have had at Christmas. And how do I know that? As I sat down and I listened to those patients and their families and their visitors and their friends tell me their stories. Because behind every curtain, there's a different story, something more unique and more humbling than the next. So a lot of us had gotten together throughout the earlier months of probably October and November, and as we exchanged stories, we realized that nursing isn't just at the bedside. It's throughout our village, throughout our community, and we help people in various ways. It's teaching, it's reteaching, it's learning, and it's starting new journeys and new initiatives. I'm also very fortunate to work and be part of the chair for the STAMP committee, which is to stamp out or mitigate the risk of pressure ulcers. This was a partnership that we had done with Erie County, essentially, and there were 5 or 6 of us that initially started this. And it grew into something more vast than we ever thought possible. We have really changed our statistics. It's not just about changing numbers, though, it's about changing lives. And for that, I'm so humbled and grateful that I could make a difference like every one of you. I see that in your faces as I watch some of you with your tears and some of you with just your amazing smiles and your enthusiasm. Those are all qualities besides the resourcefulness and the advocacy. It's the humility that you experience. It's being genuine. It's being compassionate. It's being empathetic. It's taking those lessons that you've learned, good, bad, and indifferent, and building on every experience. Again, that same premise, that lifelong learning. I just wanted to share something before I leave with each of you, which I hope will resonate. I can remember a short time ago that we had a patient, and I got the phone call and said, "How do you come to the rehab unit?" And it was a patient from another state. His dad had had a stroke somewhere elsewhere, and he was transferred because his family was originally from Buffalo. They didn't have much here. They came from a very poor background, and the ECMC family helped to set up they and their family in a motel close by while we cared for their father who had suffered a stroke. Through intensive therapy, this man was able to walk out. And that's the emotional gratification that I get, that I hope each of you will get and never forget. Another amazing story is I got a phone call that we were accepting a patient onto the unit. He too had a stroke. He was coming from another facility where the attending physician had said to his wife, "This man will probably be in a vegetative state for the rest of his life. We need to work with our social work discharge planning to try to find a nursing facility, as I didn't think he would probably be able to take that on." They had 2 young children. This woman had remembered years past. She and I had done various projects together as our kids were similar in age. And we would sew together, we would make costumes for the children's plays and things. She remembered me, Peggy Sierra, talking about what I did all the time, because that was all I ever wanted to talk about was nursing and all the great things that we had done on the unit. And she said to them, "Could you just make a phone call to that rehab unit at ECMC and see if they would take my husband?" Well, they did, and within 24 hours he was transferred to us. What an amazing journey for 2 months. They thought that this man would be in a minimally vegetative state. He ended up walking out with a quad cane. With some help, Kate was still imbalanced. She wrote me a letter, as a matter of fact, yesterday, and she called us her angels of mercy. And I thought that was just amazing to share with each of you, being that you are all graduates of Trocaire and Mercy is so close by. She said, "I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. Every day you lended that ear or that small amount of support that made a difference. You gave me those gift cards, Peggy, that I could go down to Subway or Tim Hortons, where some days I didn't even know how I put my keys in the car and drove here. I had to apply for FMLA, and that quickly ran out as I worked for a small company." That's just something that we do every day. We don't ever in a million years think that we're being over generous to somebody or going out of our way. That's what our family at ECMC does. That's what my mentors have shown and mentored me. That is just something that's inherent in all of us. And the letter continued to add all of the staff members. She didn't forget a name, and I have 42 employees. The 3 physicians, the 2 extenders, the rehab therapist that treated him, all 3. We have an amazing interdisciplinary team. Speech therapy, physical therapy, and occupational therapy. She said, "This year, Peggy, we will share our Christmas." That I never thought possible last year. We will sit in our family room with the meal that my husband is able to meet. She said, I may have to have durable medical equipment in my house. I may have to continue to have therapies, but this is, again, part of our road to recovery. I sat there, and as I read the letter to each of us on our unit, I just really sat there and cried because I thought, what a miracle. This is what our team is all about. And as I sat and reflected on, and Marianne had asked me to give this speech, I thought, I didn't take the time to write anything down. 1,000 things came to my mind. And I do hope that that emotional gratification is what each of you experience throughout your career. Just remember those couple things. Every patient, every shift, every day. Take that time to listen, to sit at that bedside, to have that conversation, and to understand what it is they need, what they're asking of you. Take that time to be that patient advocate, that patient voice, who he or she may not be able to speak for themselves. Be resourceful. Use your networking within your hospital or whatever facility you're at or infrastructure, and have fun in the process. Keep learning, keep that journey going, and congratulations again. I wish you all of the best success and happiness throughout your career.
Thank you for those inspiring words for our graduates. At this time, I would like to ask Sharon Stasek, Professor of Mental Health, and the members of the Trocaire College School of Nursing faculty to come to the front of the altar as we begin the pinning ceremony. I'm going to ask you something very difficult. I'm going to ask that you hold your applause until all of our graduates have received their pins, so that each student's name can be heard and recognized for their accomplishments. If you are a family member that has been asked by the graduate to have the honor of pinning them, I ask you to rise from your seat as their name is called and proceed to the pinning area to my left. Each graduate will be escorted to the pinning area by a member of the faculty to meet you, or to be pinned by the member of the faculty herself or himself. Mrs. Stashak, will you please begin the pinning ceremony?
Good evening, everyone. This is the moment that the students have been waiting for all semester. Congratulations. Marie Mastrangelo. Marie is being pinned this evening by Lisa Mastrangelo, RN, her sister-in-law. Lisa Mayer. Jordan Giovanetto. Alexandria Andrea Hurry. Alexandria is being pinned this evening by Kenya Hicks, RN, her cousin. Caitlin Goss. Adrian Foster. Jasmine Brower. Whitney Smith. Brittany is being pinned this evening by Mary Claire Smith, RN, her mother-in-law. David Saikon. Joelle Marie Rudman. Joelle is being pinned this evening by Nancy Sheehan, RN, Trocaire board member. Her mom. Crystal June O'Connor. Bridget Reed. Jamie Farron Kostarowski. Amanda Starr. Rebecca Perkins. Rebecca is being pinned this evening by Barbara Clarkson, her mother. Lindsay Corcoran. Lindsay's being pinned this evening by Patricia Anthony, RN. Alyssa Allen. Alyssa's being pinned this evening by Mary Mills, RN, her aunt. Michelle Lynn Boisinger. Kendra Berger. Hannah White. Hannah's being pinned this evening by Patricia Mulvey, RN, her grandmother. Susan Check. Rachel Lynn Dibble. Lois Flynn. Jordan Sudkowski. Jordan's being pinned this evening by Kelly Wagner, RN, her best friend. Sharon Belagamba. Amanda Kemp. Terry Ann Mazuski. Amy LeBron. Amanda Sawicki. Amanda's being pinned this evening by Pamela Sawicki, RN, her mother. Jessica Jean Scalzo. Jessica's being pinned this evening by Richard Ryder, RN, her friend. Renee Marie Hunter. Renee is being pinned this evening by Rachel Kegler, RN. Molly Moore. Siobhan Saeed. Siobhan is being pinned this evening by Zena Kabir, RN, her aunt. Danielle Renee Weaver. Stacy Wellstead. Margaret Ann Bowers. Margaret's being pinned this evening by Eric and Gino, RN, Trocaire alumna, spring 2013. Jessica Lee Persicini. She's being pinned this evening by Natalie Persicini, RN, her mother-in-law. Megan Calazay. Megan is being pinned this evening by Kelly Lawrence, RN, a friend. Laura Ann Smith. Pasquale John Chironi. Andrew Paul Janis. Andrew is being pinned this evening by his mother, Margaret Janis, RN. Aaron Zappia. Era is being pinned this evening by her mother, Fonda Rennie, RN. Kristen Schlosson. Kristen's being pinned this evening by Kathy McCormick, her mom. Stacy Laufman. Kelly Lillian Bush. Kelly's being pinned this evening by Linda Bush, RN. Natasha Benning. Cheryl Williams. Cheryl is being pinned this evening by Janine Leonarzik, RN. Erica Kristen Quizners. Erica's being pinned this evening by Michelle Quizners, her sister, and Trocaire, her mother. Rebecca Elizabeth Thomasor. Rebecca's being pinned by Kathy Strauss, RN, her aunt. Sarah Rowe. Daniel Summer. Mary Elliott. Melanie Mendez. Melanie is being pinned tonight by Doran Murray RN, her friend. Grace Apoku Mensa. Grace is being pinned this evening by Lovelace Quashing RN, her friend. Emily Ann Stelmach. Emily is being pinned this evening by Jenna E. Stelmach, RN, her sister. Angela Marie Santo. Angela is being pinned tonight by Shannon Lee Santo, RN, her sister-in-law. Amanda Ray Sherwood. Melanie Duhane, RN, her husband. Kimberly Miss. Kimberly is being pinned this evening by Amanda Banchow, RN, her sister. Nadir Elwan. Nadir is being pinned this evening by Sandra Garcia, RN, his aunt. Lynn Miller. Krista's being pinned tonight by Lori Leonard, RN, her cousin. Hannah Wagner. Hannah is being pinned by Susan Panic, RN, her godmother. Jennifer Yella. Jennifer is being pinned by Linda Wagner, RN, her cousin. Jessica Shanahan. Kristen Lauren Wazalewski. Mark Hamill. Mark is being pinned by Mary Ann Hamill, RN. Carrie Ann Richter. Carrie is being pinned this evening by Marge Richter, RN, her aunt. That concludes our ceremony. Let's give a round of applause for all of our
I express our heartfelt thanks to those of you who have traveled from near and far to join us here today. Not only do we appreciate your presence at the ceremony, but we appreciate and applaud your endless guidance, support over the past years. The successes that we celebrate today could not have been done without you. And to that end, this pinning ceremony commemorates your joint achievement with each and every graduate here this evening. At this time, I would ask our graduates to stand and take a moment to applaud those who have helped you to reach this monumental point in your life. I'd like to ask the class of 2014 to remain standing, and I would like to invite Mary and Dad once again to join me at the podium. Mrs. Calvary, Mrs. Lally, Mrs. Miller, would you come to the front also, please? As a tribute to Florence Nightingale's dedication, the lamp icon became symbolic of nursing. The lamp will always shine brightly as a symbol of the care and devotion the nursing ministers to the sick and injured in the practice of nursing. Florence Nightingale became known as the Lady with the Lamp. Would the members of the family please prepare to light the candles of our graduate as a tribute to the care and devotion that each nurse administers to their patients. Marianne, would you join me at the podium? Marianne, and
Will all the nurses present please stand and join the class of 2014 as they recite the Florence Nightingale Pledge. Let's begin. I solemnly pledge myself before God in the presence of this assembly to faithfully practice my profession of nursing. I will do all in my power to make and maintain the highest standards in the practice of my profession. I will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping in the practice of my own. I will devote myself to the welfare of my patients and my family and my community. I will endeavor to fulfill my rights and privileges as a citizen and take my share of responsibility in promoting the health and welfare of my community. I will constantly endeavor to increase my knowledge and skills in nursing and to use them wisely. I will zealously seek to nurse those who are ill wherever they may be and whenever they are in need. I will be active in assisting others in safeguarding and promoting the health of patients as best I can. Graduates, please extinguish your candles and be seated.
congratulations once again to all the smiling faces that I see who have been in and out of my office all semester. As I represent members of the faculty here this evening, we are so pleased to celebrate your success and leadership within the College of Nursing. It is apparent to all those who see you and witness your many talents that you are a powerful and dynamic force within the school and the nursing profession. Nurses who preceded us recognize that nursing is a force for social good and a professional discipline rooted in clinical practice. We have witnessed in all of you a strong sense of professional self, an inner sense of psychological freedom, and a stable, well-thought-out value system. Nursing's proud and distinctive heritage history is now yours. Each of us in our daily nursing practice creates and chooses our personal future. Your practice, your commitment, your energy, and your contribution to nursing will collectively forge the future of nursing now. Nursing's future will be different now because you have joined us. Together, we are the authors of the future of nursing. Each one of you has unique abilities and dreams. For those reasons, we celebrate you and the future as nurses. We have great faith in all of you to create, to define a nursing future that will add significantly to our formidable and esteemed past. Congratulations. We began this evening's ceremony with a prayer, so would we like to close the celebration with a prayer. I invite Sister Margaret Gorman, Director of Mission and Service, to please come forward and lead us in prayer. Sister Margaret.
First, I would like to acknowledge and thank the students who throughout the semester have provided over 1,500 hours of service learning to our community in 30 different locations. Well done, and thank you. Trocaire College was founded by the Sisters of Mercy in 1958 and soon embraced the nursing curriculum. Since that time, thousands of men and women have graduated from this school and have been serving in the nursing ministry. So tonight, I invite Sister Marion Mullen to come up with me, and we Sisters of Mercy would like to bless you, because you are a blessing. And we would like to invite all of your friends and family, if you feel comfortable, to also raise your hands in blessing over the graduates. So would the graduates please stand for the blessing? May you bless all those you touch with gentle hands and tender heart. May you soothe and calm those in your care. May you give strength to the weak, rest to the weary, and comfort to the dying. With nerves of steel and with a passionate touch, may you hearten those who hope and weep with those who mourn. And as you bless others, may you be blessed as well with love in your life, love that heals your hurts, bring peace to your soul, and joy to your world. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Sister Margaret and Sister Marion. At this time, I would ask all the guests to remain in their seats until the faculty and graduates have processed from the hall. Dr. David, Dr. Fernuti, and the faculty will be in the foyer to greet all graduates, their families, and guests. Congratulations once again to our amazing graduating class. To take a good look at the future of nursing and be so very proud. Thank you, and with the senior faculty, please leave your seats from now.